Hi there, and welcome to the tutorial video, Partners in Parks Safety Orientation. After watching this video, you will have a better understanding of the safety requirements of the program. If you're unsure if the Partners in Parks program is for you, please check out the tutorial called What is Partners in Parks? Today I'm sharing my screen to the Partners in Parks website. You can navigate here by searching for Partners in Parks in the stalbert.ca search bar. And follow along with me on this tutorial if you like, on your own computer or another device, such as a smartphone. This tutorial focuses on the safety orientation. For registration help, you can always reach out to the program coordinators or consult the tutorial called Partners in Parks How to Register. With that, let's get started. Here's the welcome and introduction page. I just want to draw your attention to this section. So this orientation will help you become familiar with the program and understand the safety considerations before registering. At the end of this orientation will be the registration section. So whether you are new to the program or have been a partner in the past, all participants must register. Once complete, the program coordinator will be in touch with you to confirm any details and to finalize your participation. So a copy of this orientation manual is available in hard copy by following this link. This is a copy of this presentation in written format. So if you're struggling with the online registration, there is another option for you to follow along and register to the program. Simply scan and email your paper registration to spruceup@stalbert.ca, which is listed right here. Moving on to the volunteer position description. So your position title is Partners in Parks Volunteer. The position location is public green spaces throughout St. Albert, including shrub and flower beds. It could be trails, walkways, parks, and other green spaces. The purpose is to support the beautification of St. Albert's green spaces and ensure that they are maintained as vibrant spaces for all to enjoy. Partners in Parks recognizes residents who maintain city parks and open spaces to a higher standard. Listed here are the responsibilities between the program coordinators and you as partners. Here we break down in detail we all have our part on this team. The goal is to work together to provide the best program. So Partners in Parks volunteers will be responsible and accountable to ensure that volunteer activities adhere to safety standards. That's what this safety orientation is all about. Please report any unsafe actions and incidents immediately to the program coordinator. Cooperate with any OHS Act, regulation, and code. And please always provide feedback on improving the program and safety. Volunteer procedures. Here we break down in detail the different partner activities that you can be a part of. This was covered in the tutorial video, What is Partners in Parks? If you have any additional questions after watching that tutorial, please feel free to reach out. Important messages here are highlighted below. In accordance with the Alberta Weed Control Act and the City of St. Albert, must manage and remove noxious weeds found on site. Weeds can be bagged and included in regular curbside waste bins. The reason we don't ask you to put them in the compost bin is because the compost is used in people's gardens, and we try our best to keep it weed-free. We can't guarantee that weed seeds are killed in the composting process, so this is the reason we don't accept weeds in the green bins. And we really appreciate your cooperation on this. There are resources for identification of weeds found here at this link. Alternatively, the city can provide support in identifying weeds upon request. We do have some prohibited activities within the Partner in Park program. The following activities are not permitted without permission from the program coordinator. So I just want to highlight without permission. More specifically, we do allow in some circumstances, on a case-by-case basis, with written permission to the partner, some of these activities. But all in all, prohibited activities are pruning trees and shrubs, the use of herbicides, pesticides, or fertilizers, handling needles or sharps found on site, and making modifications to the parkland, for example, extending the boundaries of a shrub bed. Some registration notes. So you can register as a group. Groups must individually register, but then reference your group name on the application. Back up, sorry. Partners are identified by hoop signs at their site. So once you are registered, the site will be provided with a sign, and all signs are collected at the end of the season. The only exception to this is tree planting on public property. That group will not get a sign, but all others are signed. And if you notice your sign is gone near the end of the season, that's usually just us. But if you're worried, please do let us know. The media, if the Gazette wants to do an article, they will make arrangements through us for that. So please let us know if they have approached you, and we will coordinate with them. Okay. Occupational health and safety. So occupational health and safety, this is the focus of the safety orientation here. First and foremost, we're preparing you for your work at your site. And together we will identify the hazards. Then we will suggest controls for those hazards. This is the hazard identification and assessment part of it. And then we will help control those hazards that we identify. First off, a hazard can be defined as any physical situation with a potential for injury, damage to property, or damage to the environment. The purpose is to know what hazards exist at your site, know the suggested controls, and to report any additional hazards not outlined at the time of the hazard identification. Hazard controls are how we manage the hazards to prevent an incident causing harm. All PPE is a responsibility of the partner to provide and wear. This is why it's important to know the hazards and know how you're going to protect yourself. I'm going to review the chart below for hazards and controls, specifically for Partners in Parks site. This hazard chart was made in general for Partners in Parks work, and it doesn't include specific details of your site. That's where you come in. We will include specific hazards from your site during your specific site inspection. And you are definitely welcome to join us on this hazard assessment of your own site. Please contact your program coordinator for more details. Like I said, I will walk through this chart detailed here. It is also your responsibility to go through this chart in detail on your own. So the hazard or potential incident of equipment causing personal injury, slips, trips, and falls. The control we have in place is wearing protective clothing. We do recommend gloves and steel-toed boots, hearing protection, eye protection. Ensure rakes, shovels, trowels are visible, and walk with tool ends pointed downwards. Clean up your tools when work is complete. Personal injury from foreign objects. So these are objects that you did not bring to the site. So doing a walk around of your site to pick up lizard and look for hazards. Before kneeling directly in the soil, partners should use their boot or stick to disturb the soil just enough to see if there's any broken glass. Use needles, barbed wire, or similarly sharp objects hidden from view. We do understand that grass can be slippery when wet, so watching your footing and wearing proper shoes. Partners can consider kneeling on pads to help with those injuries and to prevent being injured by hidden objects. If you do come in contact with sharps, please contact public operations immediately and do not touch them or move them for your safety. Public safety and nearby traffic. So please shut down if the public is close by. Be aware of your surroundings and try not to leave items in the walkway for other people to run into. Please respect everyone's right to use the walkway systems. If you're nearby traffic, we do highly recommend wearing high visible PPE and of course to be aware of the traffic in your surroundings. So insects can be a hazard. Garbage tends to attract wasps and other stinging or biting insects. We do give the recommendation to give a listen for intense buzzing when you're at the work site. Wasps and bees and hornets do start to get more active near the end of the summer. Consider advising your fellow partners, if this applies to you, to an allergy you may have and an EpiPen if that applies. Again, we recommend long sleeve shirts and long pants to avoid bites. This should, you can spray clothing with insect repellent. And then know the peak mosquito biting times. When possible, avoid contact with low bushes and long grasses. This is for the ticks. There is a website here that has some great information for signs and symptoms of ticks. Exposure to biohazards. So if you do end up encountering a biohazard, which may be blood, potty fluids, animal waste, call public operations for assistance. Again, do not pick up sharp objects. If you flag the area, stay away. We will be able to come and remove that for you. Skin irritation and rashes is a potential hazard due to contact with certain plants. We recommend partners be equipped with gloves to handle plants with thorns and other irritating properties. Below are some certain plants that may cause some irritation. Workers should be trained and recognized to avoid the local species with these effects. We do understand there's musculoskeletal injuries due to bending in awkward positions or repetitive strain injuries. Ensure you have an extended garbage picker so you don't have to bend all the way down and pick up each piece of litter. This could cause harmful strain on your back. We are aware that also hand pickers can cause alternative strain on your hands and arms from this repetitive use. So partners could stretch and do a few exercises for warm up, loosen their muscles before performing these tasks. It's best practice to take little micro breaks and do stretches to specifically prevent this from happening. When possible, we found it's best to rotate between different tasks so you can engage different muscle groups. And use tools and equipment to your advantage when it reduces physical strain on your own body. Musculoskeletal injuries due to heavy loads. Again, some stretches and exercises prior to lifting to warm up and loosen your back is recommended. Do not overload buckets, bags with litter and debris. Keep the loads manageable to reduce strain. Sometimes a little goes a long way. Maintain strong body posture when lifting. Try not to lean or twist when carrying these heavy objects. And pace yourself. Consider asking for help also when lifting these heavy items. Violence and harassment. Nobody should be harassed, bullied, or threatened with violence of any kind. If it happens to you, please document and follow the appropriate incident reporting procedures. Always treat members of the public with respect and courtesy. If an individual does get physically or verbally aggressive, please remove yourself from the situation and call us right away. Alternatively, city staff will not tolerate harassment or bullying of any kind from our partners. All incidents are documented. There are some weather extremes out there, so keeping your eyes on the weather forecast, dressing for the conditions, applying sunscreen if you need, covering exposed skin, keeping hydrated, and limiting the amount of time outside are all highly recommended. You should still apply sunscreen and protect your skin and eyes on cloudy days. Please do not work in extreme weather. And finally, working alone. Let someone you know where you are, have regular check-ins, and let them know the time to expect you home. We do recommend you carry a cell phone just in case of an emergency. Incident response. So what if something does happen? Emergency planning is important and will depend on the task you're completing. Basics, hazards, and controls reviewed in the last section can help you prevent an incident from occurring, but you do need to prepare just in case. Know who to contact in an emergency and always have a way to contact someone. Below are some important numbers, addresses, and emails to let you know about. Incident response. Please call 911 for any medical emergency. That should be your first call. Incidents or injuries that occur while volunteering must be reported to the program coordinator at this email address or by calling us at 459-1557. Please report them as soon as they happen. If your program coordinator cannot be reached, there is an after-hours number to call. We will be completing an incident report within 24 hours of the incident. It is expected that a partner will cooperate with this investigation. What is a near miss? Because we do want to document near misses also. A near miss refers to any situation that could have been worse. This could include almost touching a needle on the ground or some hazardous material, tripping over uneven terrain or equipment, and a car almost causing an incident as it drives by. Injuries and incidents are reported to us so we can better control the hazard that caused the incident in the first place. We are continually improving to reduce hazards in the workplace. As mentioned before, there are some planned safety inspections at partners and park sites intermittently throughout the season. These inspections focus on the safety of the site and will be recorded for our records. Partners may or may not be present during the inspection. Any concerns in regards to these will be communicated directly to you. And a note on provincial public health measures. Remember to follow all provincial public health measures in effect at the time of this event. For the most up-to-date information, please visit this website listed here. So this is the last page of the online safety orientation. We really appreciate you going through the safety orientation with us. Below is the registration to the program. Once you've completed this registration, again, it will be reviewed by the program coordinator and any information will be relayed back to you. We will collect this information and contact you once the form is approved. This concludes the tutorial Partners in Parks Safety Orientation. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you out there.